Welcome to Caravan of the Year 2025, sponsored by MSA 4x4 Accessories. Now behind me is an Eden 24-foot X-Treme. Now for those of you who don't know Eden, they are a Melbourne-based semi-custom off-road caravan builder. And the name Eden gets its name from exactly what you're thinking, the Garden of Eden, getting to paradise. These vans are designed to go into the most beautiful and remote places in Australia. But the inside is its own paradise too. Now we've got John, Mel and Alison in sunny Warrnambool, and they've got 3 days to judge this van to find out if it is the best van for sale in Australia today. Let's get into it. This is a 24-foot van with a slide out. So this to me suits somebody who's looking for life on the road. Well, what did you feel about it? What did you learn?
It's certainly built for someone who's looking for life on the road, but it's also someone who's looking for a bit of space inside. The slide out with the club lounge and the fridge adds a great deal of space to the interior. It's actually surprising just how much space gets added when you have a slide out.
So is it a bit of an entertainer's van? Is that the sort of feeling you got?
I did, yes, that's right. With that lounge, you can have a few people in and have a bit of a small party if you like, or a bit of a dinner together. It's really very comfortable.
Alison, it's a 4.5 tonne, 24-foot van, so a lot of people are going to be, a little bit shy of perhaps hooking it up and using it, but how did you find it from an ease of use and practicality?
It is a big van, Tim, but it doesn't look as big as it actually is until you get inside. If you pull up to camp, it's got the Cruise Master auto levelling, so levelling the van's going to be easy. It's got all the bits and pieces that you would need outside for outside living and entertaining, a barbecue slide, a fridge slide, there's a generator slide on the other side should you need a generator. There's 2 picnic tables outside. It's a rear door layout, and as soon as you step into the rear door, you've got that beautiful kitchen across the back. Quite unusual layout for a van, and the only layout of its type that we saw this year. You would think that would be a pokey kitchen, but it's not. It's actually very spacious. This van was built for the owners, Paul and Mary. So Mary's designed that very well. She's got easy access to the outdoor entertaining space. She's not carrying food through the van to get to outside. So very well thought out, that I thought. The club lounge provides a heap of dining space. Paul and Mary said they've had 6 people around that club lounge playing cards. That does drop down. You can make a bed from that club lounge, which they are going to start doing for their grandchildren. So really easy to use van. They've really thought about how they like to use their van, how they like to live on the road, and it shows.
So John, are you going to run out of power or water?
Yeah, look, I think Paul's done a really good job with it. It's got 6 200-watt solar panels up on the roof, 2 460 Arizon lithium batteries, 920 amp hours. It's a really good setup too, a lot of Victron equipment. A Victron 3000-watt / 120 amp inverter, twin 50 amp MP PT chargers for the solar. It's all monitored through a Garmin screen with an app for your phone, so you can keep an eye on how the power's being used and what's going in. Interestingly, he's got gas, so he uses gas for cooking, but he's also got a slide for a backup generator if you need that. Plenty of water, 224 litres of fresh. He's got a automatic cassette toilet, limits time in the bush a little bit if that's the way you go, but there's always the opportunity now for a composting toilet.
You can also carry a spare cassette or 2 as well.
Yeah, you could.
So Mel, Eden's not as well known brand as a lot of the other entrants this year, but it seems they have followed quite a tried and true path for how they build their vans. What do you see and find out?
It's quite an impressive piece of engineering. The cabinetry is all very well done inside, all nicely fits together. The chassis is a very impressive piece of engineering. It's a truss arrangement. So there's a 100mm rail, a 130mm rail and a 75mm rail. Quite a solid chassis. They reckon using the truss arrangement saves 50 to 60 kilos in weight. Quite impressive. Up front there's a DO 45 hitch. The van's all aluminium composite walls and roof, and the frame is aluminium, all put together with Henrob rivets. So I have to say overall it looks very well put together.
There's a 3-year structural warranty on the Eden van, and that includes against leakage and water damage. There's quite a number of exclusions around the warranty. A lot of them are to do with creek crossings, and I suspect that's to do with water ingress with that slide out and the additional places for water and dust to get in. So worth having a look at those exclusions if you're thinking about buying an Eden. But look, if there is an issue with structural issues, Paul is obviously the first point of call. He's also the first point of call with any of the electrics. If it's one of the appliances internally, customers will be directed to that supplier. So there's a good amount of customer care there, but Paul takes great pride and ownership in his product, and I can't imagine that he would leave any customer high and dry.
Livability on the road is super important on vans of the calibre of the Eden. How did you rate it there?
Look, it's a big van. It's got heaps of room, so it gives the ability to have that central ensuite. That's a really good thing. It separates the bed from the living area with 2 doors, so it makes it really quite private. And the other thing is the slide out. It was the only van here that had a slide out, and that just changes the interior space. It's a great place to sit in that club lounge and have that big TV, pop up and watch the footy or the bike races or whatever you want to do. The way that the kitchen runs across the back of the van, at first I thought that was a bit strange, but what it does is separates the lounge area from the kitchen altogether. It gives you a feeling that there's a whole lot of space in that van because of those 2 really separate areas. It's a really welcoming inside space. It's also really well designed outside. The toolboxes, they're easy to get at, there's plenty of room, there's storage for months on the road for all the things that you want to take. So it's a really good van to live with. I'd be happy.
So Mel, this is a 24-foot, 4.5 tonne van. So first-time towers might be a little bit put off by the prospect, but what were your thoughts on how it towed and what you'd tow it with?
When you look at a vehicle like that, it looks big and you think, oh my gosh, how am I going to tow that? The Chev Silverado we were using is a big vehicle, and even that looks a bit daunting, but it's a fairly easy vehicle to drive and it handles the van well. One of the problems I noticed on the dirt roads was because of the length of the van, when you're going around right-hand corners and there's a lot of dust around, it's actually, you have to be careful going around the corner because of the length of the van and you can't see the rear of the van as you go around the corner, yes. Yep. On the highway and on the dirt roads, it handled quite well. You just have to keep in mind the length of the van, really.
What about its ball weight, Mel?
It does have a high ball weight for its size, so you'd have to keep that in mind when you're kitting up your tow vehicle.
So there's a chance you might have to look at doing things like airbags in the back of your ute or your big SUV?
Yep, definitely.
Alison, in terms of innovation, what stood out to you on the 24-foot Eden?
I think the innovation for me was in the layout, and we didn't see anything else like it in terms of the rear kitchen, that slide out with the big club lounge, the massive TV that sort of emerges from a bench top. It really is a beautiful van to live in, I imagine, for long periods of time. And Mary and Paul have really thought about how they want to use this van when they go travelling just themselves or with their grandkids, and thought about how they're going to use the vans. This is not a van that you see on long weekends in a caravan park. This is a van that's been designed to live in for prolonged periods of time, and the fit and the finish and the layout really work. Quite lovely. I really liked it.
John, this is going to sound, for a lot of viewers, a bit of a shock, but $239,000 for a 24-foot off-road with a slide-out. My initial reaction wasn't bad value for money. How did you see it?
If you're new to caravanning and you're not sure what the prices are, $239 is going to sound like a lot of money, and it's not an insignificant amount of money. But you're right, for a van of that size and the quality, it's good value. It's a boutique builder. It's a tight-knit team of probably half a dozen, and half of those are Paul's family. You're getting an incredible attention to detail, making sure that everything that goes into the van is done properly. All the componentry is really quality equipment. It's a really well put together van. It's a van that the customers are dealing directly with the people who are building it, and they should have real confidence that the van that they're getting is going to work properly.
So that's the Eden at Caravan of the Year 2025. If you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below and we will answer you as soon as possible.